guys, welcome to another episode of Big Sister. Thank you for watching my channel. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. As I did a video the other day, I spoke to you all about joining the military, why I recommend it. I was in the Army, I retired 4 years ago, and I have no regrets about it. As I told you, there are lots of people that will tell you things about the military. They'll tell you horror stories about it, but what you will find is that they did not finish. They got out after a certain period of time, and I think the best individuals that can tell you about the early stages, the middle, and the end stages of being in the military are those who actually retired and completed it. Okay, we have the real stories, and we are not paid to tell you things. I'm not still going to get extra money for telling anyone about the military, whether it's the Army, the Navy, Marines, Air Force. You have to decide which branch works for you. And I will always say, take a look at the job options that they have. What do they have available? I had thought about the Marines because of the uniform. I was so young back then, I thought it was so cool. But then when I looked at the job options, I didn't see anything that worked with what I wanted, because I wanted things in the medical field and there was just not a lot there for me. However, it doesn't mean that you may not find exactly what you want within the Marines. There's a variety of jobs that's there, and the jobs and the things that you are trained for, you'll be able to use it in the outside world as a civilian job. I have lots of qualifications and things that I earned while I was in the military that I can fall back on in the civilian sector. And the other thing about it is, whether you stay in the entire time or eventually you just get out, you can still now get a job where you are working for the government, working for them as a civilian. So that's also an option that I have. And your family also have those options as well. They automatically have the ID cards. They automatically have access to the bases. When they get older, they'll be able to go on the base without me, provided that they have. And it's going to be stuff that they'll have for the rest of their lives. Even after I'm long gone, they're still going to have these benefits forever. So that's the thing with retirement. Those are the benefits of it. But there are many other things and benefits that you can get even if you don't stay in and retire. Some people, they're just there for a while, for a bit, and then they go. And that's okay as well. And if you want to know more about that, you'll have to watch my last video that I did that says why I recommend the military. Now, for me, I would say, as I'm going to say before I get started, it is not for everyone. There are people that get in and they just can't get with it. All right. And I've met them and we've had to give them, hey, peace, you got to go. So it's not for everyone. And it's normally people, they just don't want to, they want to do what they want to do. They were that way before and they entered the military and they think they're going to change the military, and that's not going to happen. So if you already know that you're just not in a position where you want to be able to learn, to grow, to mature, then it's not going to be for you, because you don't want to come into the military, give a whole lot of trouble, and end up getting a dishonorable discharge, because a dishonorable discharge is going to be bad on your record. Yes, you may possibly get a job where it doesn't fall, it doesn't show up, and that will be the exception, not the rule. But more often than not, it's going to pop up and it's going to keep you from getting a good job. So it's better you just don't go in if you know that you're going in to cause trouble. So what I want to talk with you guys about on this video is joining, whether you want to go active duty, meaning full-time soldier, or reserve or National Guard. I don't know everything there is to know about it, but it's something that you can talk to your recruiter about. So some of you may say, hey, I want to go in full-time. I want to be a soldier 24 hours a day. And by that, I don't mean that every moment you are just doing work, because I was full-time, but I did get my time off. You go in, do your job, and you leave. But there are other things that's with the military that's when you're full-time that you have to consider. Depending on the unit that you're in, you may pull charge of quarters. It's called CQ. It's when you do a 24-hour duty and you stay overnight. And you will be at this specific place. You'll have someone else that works with you, and you're basically keeping guard, if you want to call it that, which it's not. It just depends on where you are. For example, I worked in the hospital. So when we pulled it at the hospital. And there was just certain tasks and things that we need to do and watch out for and make sure everything was in place, places that we had to check, to include some areas that was outside of the hospital during that 24-hour period. And again, you will have a runner, depending on your position with you, that's going to do certain things. You just got to keep a log. It's just military disciplines, okay? You may get pulled on that like quarterly or something like that, depending on your unit and how well they are good at making that roster. So there's certain things like that. And yes, of course, you went in at 7:30, you want to get off at 4:30, but sometimes you have training or you may have a meeting or something after that, okay? So there are lots of other logistics of the military that you would have to consider when you are full-time. But it's no different than if you work for someone. You know, you have a job and maybe there's a meeting after that or something of that nature, some sort of training. But most times you're going to go in, do your job, do your morning exercises, you're going to have your breakfast, do your job, you're going to get off, and then you're free to do what you want to do. The only thing that they always say in the military, remember, you're a soldier 24/7, 7 days a week, on and off duty, so don't go out there acting a fool. That's exactly how they'll put it. So don't go, I'm off now, so let me go out here and act up and buck up. No, that's not how that works. But so the benefits of being full-time is just what it is. The benefits for that is going to be full-time, medical, dental, all those things. You don't pay for any of those things. You don't pay for your medication. If you end up needing surgery, you're not going to pay for that. Your travel expenses to and from duty stations, they are going to take care of those things for you. The thing is, that is like a full-time job. That's what it is. Okay. You take your PT test twice a year, but whether you're active duty or reserve, you're going to take that PT test twice a year as well. So the benefits is you get more benefits when you're active duty than when you are not. Active duty means every day you get up and you're going to go to work for the United States military, do your job. That is what you do. You have your weekends off, depending on the type of job that you do have. You can also take leave. You can also put in for vacation. All those things are there because I enjoy doing that. And I traveled. I go to different places. For example, I'll take leave. I went to Paris. I went to different places like that. I would hang out with my friend and go out to eat. I went to get my nails done. I went to get my hair done. I went to spas. When my time was off, went out to eat, go out to concerts with my friends when we had time off. The only difference is, depending on if the concert is really far, you've got to put in something to let them know that you're going outside of the 200-mile radius. So there are disciplines and little things that is there when you are active duty. There's way more to it, guys, and you can talk with your recruiter about the ins and the outs. But even your recruiter cannot tell you every little thing because, again, you're going to go to that unit and you're going to be under supervisors, or eventually you become a supervisor, so now you're under commander and all of that. So there are different things and other logistics that's within that unit that may be a little bit different, but it's never going to deviate from the fact that you are full-time and you're not going to be just doing something that's just so far off the mark of as far as what you expected or what active duty would be about. All right. So active duty simply means you are a full-time soldier. Now, when you're reserve, that means that you are not full-time. You're going to go in and put on that uniform and go to the place that you need to go to one weekend a month, and then one 30-day drill period a year, for what I understand. Now, I don't know everything about the reserve, but I do know that you will still get some benefits. You will have medical and dental, but it's different. You will have a copay. Now, the coverage that you're going to get from the military is going to be, a whole lot better than the regular coverage that you're going to get from your everyday, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, or things of that nature. Your copay is going to be significantly lower. There are some things that you may get, but they're definitely not going to be paying for your travel expenses. Just things that you're doing every day. You're not getting paid while you're sleeping as you do when you're active duty. When I'm active duty, I'm sleeping, I'm getting paid. If I go on sick call, meaning I'm sick, I have a few days off because I'm sick, I'm still going to get paid. The Army is not going to dock you because, you were sick. You took 3 days off, so we're going to take that out your check. That's one thing when you're active duty, that is not going to happen. You could have surgery and you are out for 2 weeks. There are times, guys, when if you've had surgery before and then you're out for 14 days, you're still going to get paid. Being active duty, the Army's not going to say, well, you were off for 14 days, so we're going to dock your pay or we're going to cut your pay down. You're getting paid no matter what. With a reserve, you're only going to get paid when you go to drill. So you're going to get paid when you go to drill for that weekend. I'm not sure what it is, but I can tell you it's nowhere close to active duty. Okay? But that may work for some people because it may just be your side thing right now. You have a job, that means you go to work, you have your regular job, you be running your business, whatever it is that you do, you'll be doing that, and then you go one weekend a month to drill. From what I understand, most employees cannot give you a hard time when it comes to you going to drill. This is a federal thing, so they can't say, no, you're not going to go. They have to send you because there'll be consequences for them. So that's the thing that I can definitely tell you about that. So reserve, you do get some medical, dental, some school options, but it's considerably different. You're not going to get the same exact benefits as those who are full-time Army. All right, so you'll need to talk to your recruiters about that to figure out how that works. And the thing about reserve, from what I understand, when you are reserve, you have to understand that based on the needs of the Army, should they need you, they can activate you and you can go active. They can put you on full-time Army depending on the needs and the demands, what's going on at the time, the mission at hand. So you can be activated, but normally it's like for a year or two. The other thing is, if you choose reserve, you can decide that, you know, I think I want to go Army. I want to go full-time Army. And you can then go full-time. I don't know if it's just immediately, but I think you can transition over to going full-time Army. And the same thing, if you are active duty and you're like, you know, I don't know if I like this. Maybe things change at home. Maybe your family needs you for something. You've got to go. You can, after you finish the terms of your enlistment, you're able to get out and then do the rest as reserve. As far as National Guards, I don't know a lot about National Guards. I think they do a similar cycle like reserve, but the thing with National Guards is that anytime there's any disaster, any floods, any major issue, any sort of riots and things of that nature, the National Guards can be called out to those things. So more often than not, you can get picked up more so than the reserve, because we're talking about things like, you know, when they stormed the Capitol earlier in the year, last year, we saw how that happened. I think that was this year. I'm so lost on the years. When they stormed the Capitol building, the National Guards was called out. When there are storms and then there's a flood and chaos and natural disasters, the National Guards are called out. So if that's your cup of tea, then that's what it's about. As far as the benefits and things of that nature, you'll have to check that out because I don't know much about it. But you are going to get paid. If you are, they do pay for your traveling expenses to your drill and things of that nature. I think that they will give you money for when it's time for you to go to drill if you have to travel a little bit. But you're not going to get paid every day, all day, like you do with a reserve, as you do with active duty. So as I said, active duty, every few years you'll be moving. You'll go to different places, different locations, but the military will pay for that. Like I've gone to different places. I've lived within the country. The military moved me to different states within the country, different areas. The military paid for all of that. I went to live in different countries. I lived in Korea, I've lived in Germany. I lived in many different places, and the military will pack us up, send the packers, move us, plane tickets, flights, everything to from the airport, pick up from the airport, hotel. Everything is taken care of. You're not going to pay for anything unless you're just trying to spend on some frivolous, and then they're going to give you extra money for traveling and all of that. So it's really, I can't complain. I could not complain. When we need to go, they made sure that our family had our passports. Now they cannot override anything that pops up. So if someone in your family did something, because I've seen this happen, somebody owed child support, I think, and when they were trying to get their passports, it came up. So the Army cannot override that as far as I know. But guys, the bottom line is they can definitely, if you get an assignment, they're going to send you, let's say, to Alaska, or they're sending you to Germany, or they're going to send you to wherever they're going to send you to. your family, if they don't have passports, the military is going to get your passports for you, regular passports, and it's going to be expedited. So you do get the whole treatment there. But the thing is, you're going to do your job. You're not going to get nothing for nothing. You need to do your job and do it well. So anyway, guys, I'm going to stop there. I don't want to go too far into it. I just wanted you all to know the differences between what going active duty, full-time military is, what the differences with that, and with reserve, what it is, and what the National Guard is. What the Coast Guard is, I don't know. I know it has something to do with sea, but when you talk to your recruiter, you ask them those questions. And remember, when you're talking to your recruiters, don't let them force you to get jobs that you don't want to get. Sometimes there are jobs that they want to fill them and they'll try to tell you, oh, I want to give you this. No, you're always in full control with the recruiters, okay? Full control as far as, hey, this is what I want to do and this is not what I want to do. So you don't want to feel pressured in taking any jobs or anything that you don't want to take, because you're the one that's going to be stuck with that job for some time until perhaps you reclass. And reclassification is going to be based on needs of the Army. If there's a need for it, then of course you'll be able to reclass, and that means getting a different job. So with that said, guys, I don't like doing long videos on this channel, but I just want to talk with you guys about the difference of the different ways that you can serve in the military. So if you decide to do it, then, congratulations, go for it. Don't hesitate. You can't, going in to talk to a recruiter does not mean you're obligated to join. So don't be afraid to go in and talk to them. All right, guys, peace.